Guys, the presidential race has shifted a little bit. I'll be honest, it's been relatively quiet for the last couple of weeks or so. The race has been stagnant, I would say. The polling sort of freezing up in the swing states, getting just about even, some minor shifts going back and forth, a percentage point, half a percentage point. Just wanted to point out that there is this website, Polymarket, where people wager, they bet on who they think is going to win the presidential election. It's just recently surged a bit, with Trump now taking a 8.6 percentage point lead, 8 or 9% of more people betting that Trump will win the election in 2024. Again, this is betting, people just putting their money where their mouth is. Notoriously, Americans are not able to bet on Polymarket unless you use some sort of back way or VPN or something. But that's potentially why the predictions there are actually a little bit different than on PredictIt. Americans are allowed to wager on PredictIt, and they still have Kamala Harris at 53 to 51, a dead tie there. But notably, uh, you know, closing up in the last week or so, really squeezing down over the last 7 days, becoming a neck and neck race. And your guess is as good as mine as to what is causing this sudden tightening, at least in the sort of prediction models here. Now, the 538 model is staying steady at 55 to 45. This model, however, notoriously slower in updating. You don't get, live up-to-date swings like you do with Polymarket and PredictIt. So we'll have to wait on that. I'm not really big on this model either because they had Biden at 50-50, even though he was like halfway dead and imploding on the debate stage and all that. They still had Biden 50-50, where the reality was like more like 90 to 10. So you take all these prediction models with a grain of salt. Um, and you pretty much just go back to your polling here. And nationally, Harris is up 2.8, but if you go to the swing states, it's zero point 0.8 for Trump in Arizona, Georgia 1.6, Harris is up in Michigan. You sort of go down the gambit and you have just a really, really close race. Again, as to why it's tightening up all of a sudden, maybe people are looking at potential missteps. They think, well, maybe going on this podcast, this Call Her Daddy podcast at this particular time with, hurricanes and natural disasters and wars breaking out. Maybe it's a bad look optically, you could say that. Trump returning to Butler, Pennsylvania, a pretty nice PR stunt, just, strengthening his hand there. Elon Musk going on stage and strongly endorsing him, doing these, election drives and things like that. So there's things happening, there's things shifting. You could point at a number of things. At the end of the day, I don't know that those things I just mentioned are going to have, either a positive or a negative impact, one way or another. We'll have to see how the polls evolve at this point. But again, just in terms of the betting models, they are tightening up. Trump surging and one in the poly market, and then tightening up very, very much in the predicted models. So we will see. We'll see how that goes, guys. We're very, very close. We're within a month to election day. So hang on to your buttholes, and we'll see.